Yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy Clyde back with another coding tutorial. Today, we're learning about one of the most important data structures in computer science, the hash table. If you've ever wondered how app stores and find the stuff super fast, like usernames, passwords, or even items in your favorite games, a lot of that is powered by the hash tables. Now, Now, first things first is open up your NetBeans or VS Code, whatever you gather. Alright? Now, then what you need to do is I'm gonna create a new project folder. So, gawin na application. And I'm gonna name it a hash table demo. Hash table, oops, wrong spelling, demo. Okay, we have demon. Okay, all right. Now I'm just gonna delete this so it won't get in our way. All right. First things first is we're gonna import the hash table class. Okay, I'm just gonna write it here. Import Java util dot hash oops, hash table. There we go. Now for this line, this imports the hash table class from the Java's util package. Java provides many built-in data structures, and hash table is one of them. Without this, the compiler won't recognize the hash table type. Okay? Okay. Now, for the second step is for the creating the class in the main method. This is very basic and very common when you program, especially like this one. But I will gonna explain it. Every Java program must have a main class, right? And the main method, which is the entry point of execution. In this case, we name the class hash table demo. Alright? Alright. And all of our hash table code will go inside our main method. Okay? Then, now for our next step is we're gonna create the hash table. I'm just gonna write it here. Hash, oopsie, hash table and integer. Don't forget, fam, this is gonna be a big letter. Integer, then string table, then equals new hash table. Okay. Now, for the explanation of this line is here we are declaring and creating a new instance of a hash table. Okay? The angled brackets like the integer and the string specify the type of data which is our hash table will store. The first type is our integer. It represents the case. Like we're gonna add it later like the 1, 2, 3. Then The second type is our string, which represents the values. Like, imagine this, like there's a K, but inside that K, there's a banana. Okay? But we're gonna demonstrate it next on this line. Okay? Okay. Oh, but I forgot to mention this, but the hash table, this one, will map integers case to string values. Internally, the hash table uses a hashing functions to assign each k to a specific bucket, just like direct discussions that which allows every fast searching and inserting and deleting. It's it's part of this function type of the hash table demo. Okay? Then the next step is by adding the data with a put. So we're just gonna simply put it like this. Table put that put then this one. We're gonna call our k. This one, just like I mentioned earlier. Then our values. Okay. Now I'm just gonna copyright this. V V. Okay, I'm just gonna copy it to make it less hassle. Okay, then we're gonna change our value to a banana. This one, let's say a cherry. Cherry. Okay. Now, to explain this, the put method inserts a k-value pairs into a hash table. Like, for example, like this one. The k1, the k1 is associated with the value of the apple. Then the k2 is associated with the banana, and the K3 is associated with the cherry. Think of it as a dictionary or a storage system where each K is a unique identifier and the value is the data stored at that identifier. If we attempt to insert a new value with the same K, it will replace the old one. All right? All right. Now, for our next steps is if we want to display the hash table, we're just gonna out that tab, then my hash table, my spelling, hash table, then plus we're gonna call our table. Right now, for explanation of this one is when printed hash table, it shows all the stored, okay? It shows all the stored k value pairs. The order of the elements may not match the order they were inserted because hash tables are designed for efficiency, not for maintaining sequence. The eternal hashing function determines where each entry is stored. Now, if we just gonna run it, run file. Alright, here we are. Notice that the order is not the same as how we entered the data. We added apple first, then the banana, then the cherry. This is because hash tables are not ordered. Instead, just like I mentioned earlier, values are placed in buckets based on their hash code. But if we want to call like a specific K, like the two, we're just gonna change this. Just gonna delete this. My value at K2. Then we're gonna have to get that get, then we're gonna call out of one. Okay, this is the two. Okay, I think this is the one. Then what happens when we run it? Okay, my value at K2 banana. Here we ask for the table, for the hash table. What value is stored at K2, which is the banana? The table quickly found the value banana by using the hashing. This demonstrates the lookup time, which is the main advantage of the hash table. Okay? Okay. So that's all. That's pretty much all of it. But we're gonna get a quick recap on what we did today. Okay? First is we created hash table integer, which is the main string to map the numbers of the words, right? Like this one. But we import the first what we did is to import the Java util that hash table. Okay. Then what we yes, this one. We use the put to insert the data like adding the apple, banana, and the cherry, right? Like this one. Then what the third is we use the get to quickly retrieve the data using a key, like looking up banana and the k, like this one. We call like my value at k2 banana. Now, finally, we observe the output works, showing k value pairs without guaranteeing order but giving us a fast access data. Okay? In short, hash tables are one of the most efficient data structures for storing and retrieving information because of their near constant time operation. So that's pretty much all of it. I'm gonna end this. Now, thank you for watching. I hope this made your hash table much clearer. If you're coding along, try experimenting by adding more keys, replacing values, or testing what happens if you insert the same key twice. That's how you really understand it. This has been an truly great tutorial. Signing off, keep learning, keep coding, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Babush! Alright, alright.